Hi, this is Dave, and today we're going to talk about why you should leave a company, and I'm going to talk about why I left my previous employers. I wasn't a new driver, but I was new to the trucking industry, which is completely different. Because you can be a driver and know what you're doing, but if you don't know this industry, the ins and outs, you can be severely taken advantage of. I was illegally interstated, treated like royal crap. Any damage that was done to the equipment at numerous different employers, they would make you pay for it because you were the operator of the truck. We were told to jimmy rig or zip tie equipment to get it back. We were told stuff that was blatantly out of service was fine. They edited our logs at their will so we could keep running. And like I said, I was new to the over-the-road industry. It was different laws, different regulations that I didn't particularly know at the time. I got referred to this company by a friend of mine, and they hired me on the spot. I didn't even have to do a road test. I worked for them the first time for about 8 months, and then I was a retard and went back for about 4 months. And now I'm done. I will not go back. Which I didn't know at the time. What illegal interstating is if you are a Canadian driver driving for a Canadian company, you take a load that you picked up in Canada to the US, drop it, reload in the US to another point in the US, and keep doing that. The reason it's illegal is taking work from an American. Us Canadians are not allowed to do it. I was told we had the permits in place. I was told it's all legal, it's fine. I turned around and found out it wasn't. I blew a drive tire just outside of Des Moines, Iowa, and he told me I needed to drive better. There is no way to check a drive tire. I had constantly gone to Love's to Tire Pass to get them checked, but ideally a blown tire happens. But yet it was my fault that the tire blew. It was my fault because of the way I drive, kind of thing. And he was going to charge me for the tire. You got to watch out if you're new to the industry. You got to ask them if something happens on the road or just something happens, period, who has to pay for it? If you're broken down for a day or two, are you getting any layover pay? Are they putting you in a hotel if you can't stay in the truck? Because they wouldn't do that. Numerous employers in the past, a lot of oil field, but a couple highway driving companies would require us to jimmy rig something. And if you don't know what jimmy rigging is, backwards mechanics, just get it to where you're trying to go. There's been situations of a brake caliper on the trailer coming completely off, and we're told to zip tie it just to get back to the yard. There was times that airlines had failed, and we were told to just tap them together to get them back to the yard. I'm not against jimmy rigging. If you're just going a mile or two to a repair shop, I'm not going to jimmy rig to go across country. And that's what he wanted us to do because he could get it done cheaper back at his home office. A lot of companies I've noticed want you to incorporate, which means you pay your own taxes. They save money on taxes. Depending on the company, they pay or don't pay benefits. Depending on the company, they don't pay stat holidays or anything like that. But the advantage they have with them, besides the money they save, is they don't have to give you notice. They can lay you off anytime they want and just say end of contract. So if they have a bad employee or somebody that keeps damaging equipment, they can just fire them on the spot and say the contract's done. Where if you're an employee, they have to give you due process. Basically, they were hiring us for bodies to run his equipment because he needed drivers. And some companies, it's going to be like that. In some companies, you have to bring the equipment with you. Every company is a little bit different. Not well maintained. You really have to watch who you work for. Ask questions like if you're running a refrigerated unit, when was service last? When was the Freon charged last? I had a reefer that wouldn't get cold because it was out of Freon, wasn't recharged. Fuel sensors on equipment were broken, so he told me to bypass them so it would run. Notorious for tires, and of course he would put the cheapest tires he could possibly find on. He wouldn't fix anything unless he absolutely had to. This company in general, but I know other companies that do it, are notorious for bending the rules. Luckily, I did get stopped by DOT. They were asking me about my logs, and they were explaining to me because drivers do not have access to manipulate your logs, it falls on the company. This topic is all of what the company was doing. They would manipulate or edit our logs to make sure we had time to make it places, as we're illegally interstating or to make it to a customer. If we tell them, oh, we only have 10 hours left, but you needed 20 hours to get there, they would manipulate our logs so we'd have the time. I was doing a trip to Georgia. They told me I had to deliver at 10 a.m. the next day. So I was just chilling at the truck stop. They called me up. They're like, oh, go try to deliver early. I was up all day waiting to deliver, finally delivered about 9 p.m. Then they turned around and told me that I had to be in Florida for 7 a.m. in the morning. So I end up having to drive all night because they're like, well, you've been off duty all day, you can drive. Even though I've been awake all day, drove all night, reloaded, and then start heading back. So I end up doing like 36 hours. The reason I didn't refuse it is because I was a month in at the company and I needed the job to support my family. I didn't turn it down because, I didn't want to lose my job. So I just took it and went. I was a very naive driver. These companies are taking advantage of the new drivers that don't know the rules, and they're running them ragged. A lot of your smaller companies will try to make an example of a driver if they did something. Say Johnny hit a bumper or something. And so they'll try to make an example of you so nobody else does. My previous employers castrated you in front of everybody, or if a new driver came in, they would use you as an example. Don't do it like little Bobby or little Susie kind of thing, which is inappropriate and unprofessional. The trucking industry, at least in Canada, it has a shortage. So every company is going to hire anybody that can drive. He used to have a 2-year minimum, that you had to have at least 2 years viable experience. But then as it got harder and harder to get drivers, he kind of threw that in the wastebasket. And a lot of companies are doing that just to fill seats, to get the product moved. But this particular company disliked females, but yet would hire them just to fill a seat and make them quit. Give them the worst equipment, treat them like crap. He gave her literally the biggest pile of junk that we had as her company truck. Well, he refused to fix anything anyways, but refused to fix anything on it. Paid her less because she's female. Didn't want female drivers.
Hey guys, Ronan here. I wanted to personally thank you for watching this video. I've been recruiting drivers for about 15 years now, and I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of how drivers are getting mistreated by their current employers and how they're being taken advantage of by our current industry providers. So I wanted to create a channel in order to unite North American drivers, share my knowledge, educate drivers to become more successful, and hopefully one day to make a positive impact on our industry. Some concerns that I have in our industry revolve around how drivers are being mistreated by their current employers, safety on the road, parking for drivers, and driver compensation. When we unite, we can make a difference. This video on this channel is not meant for recruiting purposes. As me and my team continue to produce high quality and interesting videos, I do need your support in order to make a difference in this North American market. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you're enjoying the video you're watching, give it a thumbs up. And now, back to the video.
I fell into the trap of it because I was making decent money. I'm not talking about great money, but I was making decent money, and I have a pretty high tolerance to that kind of stuff. So I'm like, whatever. I'm making enough to support my family. But as time went on, it got worse and worse and worse. What I would recommend new to the industry, green drivers, is ask questions. If something happens, who's responsible? Who pays? Do a detailed pre-trip. And if you see problems, ask about it. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you don't like the answer, walk away. Plain and simple. There's 1,000 jobs out there for drivers. We're a shortage of drivers, so just because you don't like Buddy, there's enough work out there you can find somebody you do. New drivers or fresh drivers are usually the ones that are picked on because they're usually naive. They want to make a name for themselves in the industry. They want to make a name for themselves in the company. They show that they're good workers, they know what they're doing. And so companies somewhat always take advantage of them to see how far they can get away with because they don't know any better. Or if you take a seasoned driver and ask them to do something, they'll tell you to pound sand because they know better. They know the rules, they know the laws. A new driver doesn't. They haven't been in the industry long enough. They don't know the ins and outs. They don't know what's legal, what's not legal, how to move an axle. That's what they need to learn. And trucking school won't teach you all that. I'm sure that there are way worse horror stories out there from some of the old veterans that they had to go through like me. The best advice I can give to a new driver is do your research. Ask your questions. You know, like if something happens, who has to pay for it? Or if something happens and you're down for a day or two, are you compensated for it? Do they put you in a hotel if needed? Ask your questions, find out. The better companies will compensate you and put you in a hotel kind of thing. Like they'll look after you. It's the more smaller companies you gotta worry about. And not all small companies are bad. Throughout your trucking career, you're gonna run into a bad apple for an employer. It's just gonna happen. It's unavoidable, there's enough of them out there. But I hope with this video, it will lighten people and you can try to avoid them as much as possible. But unfortunately, our society is not perfect and it's gonna happen. But hopefully this will inform people. And I'm sure there's worse stories out there to help people. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you subscribe and have a good day.